Hello and welcome! Welcome to Drakenmemoria! Yay! What is this, you may ask? Well, it's Dungeons & Dragons, or more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeons & Dragons. Right now, a group of people in a picture, but hopefully the picture will become a real boy before too long, and we have a full group. So if this is not something you want to watch, whatever the reason, aha! The picture turned into a real boy. So, so if this is not something you want to watch for some reason, well, you know, like we keep saying, there are suggestions to the right or to the left, depending on if you are watching this from YouTube or Twitch. Otherwise, it's a pleasure to have you with us, and we hope you're here because you want to be here. No matter the reason, because you like us, because you like watching us play. We could say just watch us, but that would be a little bit creepy. But hey, it's the reason why you're here. It's okay.
Whatever gets you off.
Yeah. But if you just want to watch all of this become something about Dungeons & Dragons, about a group of people adventuring in the world and making it a better place, mostly, you're welcome among us.
Like, look, if we just take out certain members' actions, it's all overall a net positive.
Absolutely. So, yeah, that's what you're going to be watching. So, if you're new,
Hey, I didn't specify who.
yeah, no. That's true. That's true. Especially with the introduction for today's.
Was that was it like 25 hit points? Sorry, I forgot to ask that before it started.
No, we healed you, and
Healed
we
me?
took a
What?
long rest.
Oh, in the long run. Right.
So, like I was
May
saying,
have peed on you a little.
if you're new, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us. If you're not new, back from a previous session, welcome back. And no matter who you are, we hope you'll have a pleasant, whatever this is going to be, about Dungeons & Dragons.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. For a publicity thing, if you like the thunderstorm in the background, ambient mixer, you can get your own ambiance made in there, and it's royalty free, and you only have to pay when you download them. I'm hearing television here.
Put all the games on.
My phone wasn't silenced.
Oh, okay.
It started making noise. I forgot to close, certain tabs, and I just was scrolling.
Yes, of course.
You didn't tell your phone to silence bottom?
I don't know why. I just keep being reminded about your cat, Sam, when he paid us a visit. The only time that our stream actually turned porn. Fortunately, Twitch seems to be okay with feline nudity. So
The whole internet seems okay with it.
So, like I was saying, Ambient Mixer for ambiance, Dungeon Alchemist for combat, and WonderDraft for world map. Yay! And no sponsor. Well, someone's eating something. Who's sponsoring us?
Two Town Cider House.
Jalapeno cheese bagels.
Interesting.
Water.
I like
Safeway.
Yeah.
I love those bagels.
Yeah.
Hashtag non-sponsored.
Sorry, I'm not trying to shame you. It's just no one was eating last episode, so now I'm sort of happy. We're eating again.
I am reminded of a YouTube creator that, for air quotes censorship reasons, replaced the word condoms with bagels.
Interesting.
Yes, he's eating a jalapeno bagel.
Cheese coffee.
Oh God, a jalapeno bagel. That would be a choice.
Sounds painful.
All
It's like the
right.
jalapeno bread from Subway. Not sponsored.
Well, I did once made a when I was studying baking. They gave us free reign
Make this relevant.
to
How?
make whatever we wanted. So I made a bread and I replaced a portion of the water in it with jalapeno juice.
Juice.
Yeah, I just took the juice inside of the bottle and pour it inside. The only one who actually liked it, beside me, was a Colombian student we had. Everyone else hated me for it. The teacher didn't speak to me for 3 days.
Even though I've heard this story, but what you're saying is that you filled it with your hot juices and shared it with
Oh my
everybody.
god.
It wasn't hot when I put it inside.
That makes it so much better.
Stop it.
All right. So apparently we're being sponsored by bread.
Bread, you've known it for millennia.
All right. So what happened last episode?
A real classic brand.
No, actually, that's true. True story. Every single culture around the world has created its own version of the bread. So, hey, it's a human thing. Maybe one day we'll learn it's a intelligent, well, something that passes as intelligent being thing. I'm actually really wondering about this. They will meet alien. Will we learn that they also have bread?
You see, aliens
will
didn't
have
build the
something.
pyramid, but they did introduce bread.
Alright, this stream is starting to get weird. So, what happened last episode? Our party engaged yet another spider! Yes! This encounter, however, struck our heroes differently as their enemy was not fundamentally evil. Trying to defend its eggs against an opponent that attacked without provocation, the spider did its best to defend against a relentless opponent, showing a single-mindedness to devastating its progeny. Even as it was retreating, its will to attack broken, the adventurer kept on threatening its last egg. Yes, I know, I've just made you all look like evil people. I needed to find something to write, so...
I think us and
you'll
the
remember,
stream
however,
knows
that Raimi
people,
didn't
okay?
shoot.
No, but, the intention was there.
Also,
Yeah, he was just
we
gonna let me
weren't
fall off.
really sent on an extermination mission. We
It was
could have let that
assault,
last
not
egg live.
battery.
Oh, apparently it looks like this island chain is slowly taking its toll on our party.
It's its fault for not being able to talk.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, Raimi didn't actually shoot, and the only reason he was able to make that threat safely is because conjure animals had already been cast.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that it's because Tobiyashi was dangling in the
Because I
above
was
the
unconscious.
abyss. Yeah. It's okay if Tobiyashi gets sacrificed. We're good. We're good.
And we're
I
not.
mean, look, it's funny to threaten just letting Tobiyashi die, but that's for the comedy. Raimi is not an evil character.
No, of course not.
Yet.
Yeah.
Misguided, but not no.
Well, I mean, I guess Audience's God hasn't talked to him yet, so
Yeah, he is following
Either of them.
He is following someone who is following someone less than respectable. But like they said in Star Wars, who is the fool? The fool or the fool who follows the fool? So. With all of this, oh yeah, and Tobiashi's condition started to become really hard to avoid. Especially since now, Tobiashi, when you woke up from being burned, skewered, poisoned, revived, skewered again.
That was the superior health potion, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got rid of it. All right, cool.
When you woke up, you were covered in slightly coagulated, partially orange blood slime. Before, it was just a small nick, and it could have been just an infection, but now it's becoming very, very, very apparent that
I'm just like covered in it. I'm all slimy.
yeah, right. Well, you were brought to 0 hit point twice in a single fight, so you are very bloodied.
Fight sucked for you.
Ugh, yeah, I saw.
So you tried to.
But you also suddenly got really brave.
Yeah,
Like something was like controlling me. Like something was inside of me or
something
something.
possessed you.
Yeah,
Really inspired
Maybe-
by Fisher.
it was almost like a dream where like I could see, but I couldn't do anything.
Audience's headcanon is that you were inspired by the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Yes.
I
That would
also,
explain it.
I also said Jorg was chanting all his prayers to the dragon as he casted his spell
Oh.
for some reason.
Whenever I'm gone, it's the dragon. The dragon comes out of the corners. Okay, all right. Oh.
So as you wake up, still covered in crusty red-orange, partially slime blood. With oh damn, I just realized what I was about to say, but hey, we're committed. With the holes on you mostly are now filled. Because you've been healed.
Hey,
Because
somebody-
you've been healed.
Hey,
Yeah, because I've been healed. Yeah.
hey, somebody who is in a strong commitment regularly has the opportunity to have their holes filled.
I'll wake up. Oh, this. Ew. This doesn't look like it's gonna end well. Hey Fisher, you got that thingy? The cleaning rag? Stuff is super sticky.
You might not be able to.
I
use
chuck it
again.
at you, and it hits the wall 3 feet from.
What the fuck? I'll go pick it up, wipe myself. Thank you.
Well, you know, you were right next to Fisher when all of this happened, so you might have squirted a bit of that thing on Fisher. Man,
At least you know it's not an infection anymore. Ugh.
I mean, it could be. Just a
Is
very
that-
bad one.
Just infecting my blood?
Yeah. That's. To be fair, I think when that happens, that means you're dead, or you would be dead soon.
So I'm dying. You're saying, do I have like cancer or something? I have cancer?
I don't know.
What's happening here?
Maybe it's that when you exploded and were put back
When-
together.
Did any actual blood come out of him, or was it just this orange stuff?
no, it's as if his blood is slowly turning into this stuff. So there's blood, but it's instead of being red, it's
That's
slowly
nasty.
turning orange, and its texture is more like partially coagulated blood than fresh fluid blood.
Mm.
Fuck. Well, you got. I mean, fuck. Are we supposed? We're on a train. How far do we have? There's like no
Over
option,
there.
right? But Jorg, can you fix me?
I don't think so.
You have
I've already
nothing.
like
Did-
looked at that.
Yeah, if
Stick
I
down
were
my throat?
in the barn, I used detect magic,
Mm-hmm.
and
I used.
I'm trying. Did I get? I feel like I didn't get anything.
No, nothing happened, meaning that whatever is happening to Tobiashi is not magic based.
All right, Jordan,
Uh-huh.
check down my throat.
So,
All right.
so it's technically not a curse.
Uh-huh.
Whatever is
Should I do
happening to
another-
him is physiological.
What did you?
Medicine check.
I don't know. The gnomes have been really weird about collecting my samples for some reason.
When was the first time you noticed it?
Literally when I got stabbed by the fence. I've been feeling really loose lately, but that's pretty much it. Like I haven't had to stretch in a long while.
It wasn't. It didn't. Did you get hurt when we were? It like seriously hurt in any of our previous fights?
It's hard to keep track. I get
Like
seriously.
at the library or when we were escaping?
I did. I mean, I got hurt, but not seriously hurt. I was bleeding. By that time, it was regular blood. I didn't see anything different. It happened literally at the train yard.
Whoa, chill, man. Don't blow up on me or anything.
The last time you
Oh, I
were
did blow up.
injured in a fight was in the high sal process when you were fighting against the enforcer, the one that is stronger than Civ.
Yeah, I didn't notice it then. I know audience threw
Here's a
bunch
bit
shit
of a
at me.
stretch. The orange hue, is it like similar to the orange? Because his symbiote is orange, right?
Oh,
You're saying it. Yep, man.
Is it like the same color of orange? I know it's not crystals, it's goo. But...
Yeah. Well, it doesn't glow quite as the enforcer did, but it's still orange, so maybe.
It's not a disease because I've used lay on hands on him, and it's not a disease. I'm gonna take. Is there some blood lying on the ground of the orange blood? Where he wiped it off?
Yeah, there's a trail while you were.
I haven't wiped it all off yet. Yeah.
There's a trail while you were.
You haven't all wiped off yet. I'm gonna take some on my finger and lick it to see if it has a taste.
Oh no, we're all infected.
Well, I'm also immune. I'm immune to disease, so I feel more safe doing this.
All right.
You just said lay on hands didn't work though.
Yeah, but that means that I'm not worried about licking your blood because I'm not going to get disease.
So
you're not gonna get like AIDS.
Could be.
Here's one thing. I'm pretty sure that audience would not have a reference to what it tastes like, but Sam does.
Baja Blast.
It's orange chicken.
No.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering. I'm like, is it some sweet and sour?
No, it's a little bit sweet.
Can we sell this?
Audience would know what to name it, but Sam would probably name it orange ice cream.
Rainbow sugar, or no, orange sugar, sorbet.
I'll just lick it. I'll be like, Toby, you taste really good.
Whoa! Hey, wait a minute. Okay. Looked at me really weird when you said that.
Suddenly
I look over at
Remy
Remy,
is
and
jealous.
I don't think I want any. I don't think I want anything to do with that. Anyway.
No, it's like no, Toby. Your blood is like a dessert.
Shit. It is.
Yeah.
I'll lick some off my hand.
Yeah. It's
It's sweet. It's like zesty, almost like orange. tricky.
That is odd.
That sounds unsettling.
I'm assuming blood isn't normally sweet tasting.
No.
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 It's like iron. It's like if you bit on iron, or like a penny. No, wait, we don't have pennies.
Well, they do have. You do
like
have
a bronze.
I mean, you have copper pieces.
Like a
I mean, it definitely doesn't taste like a sweet dessert.
Well, the only thing, it happened when I got stabbed at the train yard. That's the first time I seen it happen. I was feeling looser since I've been on the island.
You noticed that you were more nimble. You didn't need to stretch anymore since the library where you met Sichet for the first time.
And I don't remember anything happening to my body since I got blown up by audience.
I think it might be some form of gnomish potion affecting you.
Maybe, and the gnomes were really weird on getting my body fluids after I blew up 1,000 times.
That's a good point.
That could definitely be possible. Although I do feel like this might fall into the realms of something they'd get in trouble with the garden, so maybe they wouldn't go that far, but I'm not completely sure.
Or they'd wait till
It
they
hasn't
no
stopped
longer
them
have
before.
access to the garden.
I mean, yeah, we
Or
haven't
to
been able
kick
to
in.
access the garden.
Well, technically, I'm not sure if it was audience or Fisher, but one of you knows that they got into a little bit of trouble for giving audience all of those untested potions.
Oh no, yeah,
Yeah.
they did because we told them, yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
that
say
is
that.
true.
They
But the
got
garden
double.
also, I thought, said that
We
there was no
told them.
lasting... I thought the garden said that there was going to be no lasting effect from them. Or did you not ever have tests run on you,
Something they would
Toby?
say.
We literally left right after. We didn't have
Oh,
time.
did
I
we?
took some shrooms, we heard the stories, and then we got on the boat and left.
Okay, well,
Very
hopefully...
classic thing of
Hopefully you
spending very
don't
little
turn
time in the
into a
garden.
giant, like, dessert in the middle of a combat and then, like, are stuck that way.
That would be horrible. I've been through enough, I think.
Question, if you do turn into a giant dessert, do you want us to eat you or not eat you? Like, for the good of the
Maybe
people?
like put me in your storage and take me back to the garden so I could get some tests ran on me or something. I mean, if I turn
Okay.
it, if I look too delectable, maybe you could take a bite or something. I don't know. But
Okay,
as-
I just wanted to know if I had permission or not.
I don't
From
know.
inside of you, Fisher, you hear. So basically, what he's saying is keep a sample and you can have the rest.
I don't. I'm not gonna weigh in on this. I don't need to eat.
Yeah. Well, Toby, I think
I'll finish cleaning
I
myself
think
off.
the only option left for you now, to be honest, is prayer, and just to let you know the dragon is always
Prayer?
available for that. So if you wanna take that up,
Doesn't
I'm here for you.
Yeah, I think I have my schedule filled up with other light gods that I could be praying to. Here, yeah, that's 7:30. I also have this trickster god I gotta pray to too.
Oh,
I think my
okay.
schedule is full. Sorry, but maybe another time.
wait,
Okay, let me know when you have an opening.
Aren't you supposed to be like the answer when people pray to the dragon? Isn't that like how that relationship works? Like they pray to the dragon, and then because that's where you get your powers, you help them.
Yeah,
So
I
since
did
you
help
can't
Toby. I
help
told
them-
him. No, I did. I helped Toby. I told him he tasted good. Power of the dragon. Boom, right there.
Boom.
All right, I'm gonna go scout. I'll
Interesting.
see you.
Wait, I thought we were still in the train. Are we not still in the train?
We
are
are
in
still
the
on the
train.
train.
There's some zombies outside. Oh no, are we starting up the train? Oh no, we were gonna go clear the road, right? We have to go clear the snow.
The way that
Yeah.
when it ended last episode, you were about maybe 15 minutes out, 10-15 minutes out, and you didn't want to derail the train when you got in, so you decided to go on foot and make sure that the railway to the maintenance station was properly aligned, and then come back and get the train. So,
All right, I'm gonna go check on that.
if you want to
By yourself?
see.
Yeah, they're just a couple zombies. I'll be fine.
If you want to see what it looks like, the island
I
on which
look at
you are.
Raimi and I go, just a couple? Or like No, he did a whole like minor illusion thing. There were a lot of zombies, right?
It's a zombie-infested town.
Yeah, it was swarming.
Well, I mean, the audience can be that kind of confident. Oh, it's just a few zombies.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just pull out my base. I'll be like, come on, I got this. We're fine.
All right, so if you are curious about the island you just got in, because you did have a drawing at one point of everything else, so Remy could probably just think for a moment and then minor illusion the map of the island. It is currently up on the stream right now. There is a little NPC token next to where you are. I'll bring up the grid so you can find. So you would be currently at Q2 right now. And this is the island on which you are. Your destination to get out of here is the town at R13. This is where you need to be to leave the island and go to the spire at the central. The process where you absolutely have to go if you want to keep going with the train you have is at I9. And from the information you got, Fisher, the only two
It's the one at
water
M18, right?
would
Or
be the
L.
closest station, although it's a way station, so you'd have to walk all the way there. But that would be the closest place to where you think your creator's laboratory would be.
Mm-hmm.
There are only two bodies of water, so it's either the one near the way station there, or the one below the mountain at EFG.
Mm-hmm.
So those would be
I think
possible places where your creator's workshop might be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the one on the far east side. But okay, so
fortunately, you can with the train. You can get all the way to J15. But there would be where you would have to leave the train behind and walk the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm. Alright. But short-term goals. Through the spyglass, Remy found that the station is kind of infested with zombies.
Yes. But he did see one building.
Somebody's got a farm.
But he did see one building, a 2-floor building, where the second floor was completely devoid of snow on it.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to scout, audience?
Yeah.
Not by himself. We're all leaving.
All going? Okay.
Why wouldn't we?
It's like we are all leaving.
Right. So, Remy, you'd probably want to play tape recorder again to warn everyone of the possible dangers that you might find on this island, because you did make a research about undeads. So, the normal types of undead, the most prominent one that you'll find on the island, the ones that were there when it all happened. There is the zombie, there is the ghoul, and although there is a footnote on what Remy is telling all of you, always with the beautiful voice of your princess from the past, is that there are also ogre zombies in there. Although it's not exactly sure how their tribe survived this long, because let's face it, usually ogres, they're not 5,000 ogres in a tribe. So no one knows exactly why there are still ogres hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years after all of this happened. But you can still find ogre zombies. So those were the...
They have layers.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Like onions. Yes. Those were the initial 3 type of undead that were very abundant. Later, another one appeared. It was, and this is the one where no one exactly knows where it's coming from. Their theory, but no confirmation. There would be something equivalent to a armored zombie. When Remy describes it, you'd probably all want to say, oh, it's a death zombie, a death knight zombie, but the description is not exactly it. It is completely armored, and it has the ability to raise dead thing. The most prominent theory would be that some Mill-E's were left behind and some eventually got infected, twisted, and became this. But there are no actual confirmation. But the general design does fit this, meaning they are heavily armored. And they can conjure the dead and raise the dead, making them really not fun to encounter. The last type of undead, which are noted in there, are, and this is one for the books, undead elementals. Earth, air, and sort of water. The earth undead elemental come in the shape of, well, they'll usually just stay immobile and they'll wait. You'll notice them because it feels like you're seeing a large version of a hedgehog half buried in the ground. They can actually throw their spine, however, and they're completely made of stone. But they do register as undead. This is why they're technically called undead elementals. Probably coming directly from an undead shard. As if either elementals coming from there found their way there, or it corrupted already existing elementals into an undead version of them.
Or there was a vampire that got really freaky.
Oh, he really liked it hard. So, air, undead elemental, they come in the form of mists that eats you alive. It's basically very similar to a gelatinous cube, except it's made of mist. Damn.
You're like putty in their hands.
You okay? I didn't know I was this funny.
They give the best blowjobs.
Forgot how to swallow for a second.
You're Andre, not Fisher. Fisher doesn't know how to swallow.
I got too into character.
So now you know how Fisher felt the first time he drank. And the last one, you want to say it's water elemental, but it would be closer to slime elemental. They are known to lurk in lakes. And there's a very easy way to recognize them, as they smell bad. Putridly bad. It hurts so much it smells bad. So those are all the beautiful things that Remy talks to you about for the next 5 to 10 minutes. All in the voice of a beautiful lady.
And that's the only reason why audience pays attention.
All right.
Also, that last one is what would happen if we let Tobiyashi out of the refrigerator for too long.
I'm gonna melt.
Just a slimy, putrid, disgusting mess.
I'm melting.
Oh, good lord. All right, so
All right.
now you know what's waiting for you in there. In this large island. And you know that there are probably spiders walking about, but you know that they're mostly interested in the undead, not you.
All right. I'm gonna get my Hydra tooth ready and my sword whip.
Oh yeah, one thing that Remy would mention, at least I hope so, are the specific of how this variation of undead fortitude works. So it is noted that any creature who is actually an undead in this island is much sturdier than what you are used to. Meaning that short of complete destruction, so twice their hit points, they will get back up eventually. But they will not recover hit points if it is from fire, acid, radiant, or major damage to a part of the body. In other words, critical hits. So those 4 types of injuries register as permanent damage on them. Anything else, when their turn comes back, is negated, and they just get back up and come back at you.
So my holy water will work, right, Remy?
That's radiant damage. Yes.
Okay.
This is be more like a mechanics question.
Yes.
So is this like if
Okay,
if I
mechanical wise, any damage they take that is not fire, acid, radiant, or critical hits is non-permanent damage. At the beginning of their turn,
Heal it up.
non-permanent damage is healed. If they
Okay,
fell,
so
if they fell because they have no more hit points, they're simply gonna get back up.
if so that's like if I use like chromatic strike and I hit a zombie, only the D4 fire damage from that attack
Will be
would
permanent,
be permanent.
on their hit
Okay.
point pool.
So what if you get them down to 0 and then hit them with something that's permanent? Does it still heal up after they've been hit after?
If they
fire?
have hit points left, so otherwise, so if they have, let's say, 20 hit points, if you get them down to 0 without any fire, acid, radiant, or critical, if after that you cause 20 points of damage from one of those, they will not get back up, and technically they will be considered as totally destroyed because you did twice their hit point of damage within the round.
All right.
So it really is a zombie horror movie right now.
And so the twice their hit points thing, that
No matter the type of damage,
that's
if you do
within
twice,
the round,
yes,
not just with one. Okay.
in
It
the
doesn't
round.
just-
But the
have to be
idea is
one.
that, like, if you permanently reduce their maximum hit points, then it becomes increasingly easier to hit them to deal twice their maximum hit
Yeah.
points. because it's lesser.
Yeah, but we don't have to do it in one hit.
No. You don't have to.
Okay, yeah.
If they have 20 hit points, you don't have to do 40 points of damage in a single strike.
Yeah.
You have to do 40 points of damage within the round, before their next turn, actually.
Okay. Got it.
Or if you manage to do 20 points of damage to fire, acid, radiant, or critical strikes, they won't get back up.
But technically, I guess that just makes like a Raimi super useful. A creature that's already down, hit with like a double sneak attack dice. It's automatically a critical strike.
So when Remy leaves this island chain, he will now be known as Remy Double Tap.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to do with zombies anyway, right? They get down, and then just in case, you stab them in the brain.
Yeah.
It's like rule number 1 in that one movie.
Well, it technically should be every movie, but yeah. That
Yeah, I
one
think
movie.
yeah.
He
Okay.
states
But-
it in one movie, in Zombieland.
Yeah.
The joke is that Zombieland had all these rules, like itemized.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay.
Watch the movie again.
So we're gonna have to go in there, clear. Well, we don't really need to clear the tracks of
No,
snow.
The
We just
train
need
does
to-
have a plow, so
Yeah, we just need to make sure that the tracks are set.
Yeah.
So that we can go through. And then we should probably also check out that building that looks like it is occupied.
I agree.
Yeah, sounds good.
It says on the front door, "Ocupado, do not disturb."
I agree. We should murder everything. What was the other part of that plan?
I heard kill.
Kill, and I
I mean, I
heard
guess
the word
theoretically, if you
everything
set the
somewhere.
whole island on fire, it'll eventually kill all
After
the
we
zombies.
leave. After we leave.
I heard kill, and somewhere else in the conversation there was utterly destroyed. So yeah, no. All right.
All right.
So you are now entering a real horror movie. Let's see how you actually do in a real horror movie. Zombie horror movie.
As we start to get closer, what's the layout of the place look like?
Well, it is the equivalent of a town. So, although right now it has probably snow all the way to your knees, everywhere. In some places it gathered and it's even higher. And some zombies are doing their best to move about, shuffling the snow and shoving the snow aside as they walk. There's sort of this moment where you look at the town and say, oh, we can actually see their walking pattern. Oh, no zombie in that alley. Snow hasn't been moved. It's a town, so it's not incredibly large. You get a town center where most of the more important buildings will be. Where the inn used to be, blacksmith, temple for praying, some commerce that are very common in a larger town. Probably a tailor, cobbler, a thing you'll need every day. And then there's several, maybe 3 or 4 streets branching off from there where most people will live. Because in a place like this, everyone gets back inside the walls when nightfall and the fields are left to themselves. Because you'd rather lose part of your field than part of your body to an undead while you're sleeping.
And the warm building. or non-snowed building? Where's that?
It would be close to the town center because it's a 2-story building. So probably someone that had a commerce and was living on the second floor.
Hey, we're sneaking, right?
Well, the only thing that can hear you are the living dead. But hey, they're ghouls, and ghouls technically can hear better than everything else. Ghouls are smarter. Ghouls essentially are better zombies. They're smarter. They are slightly wiser. And they walk at a normal speed. And since they are immune to exhaustion, they just can sprint at you.
They're like the super zombies from every zombie movie ever.
They were voted most likely to become prom king.
So basically, zombies, it's Night of the Living Dead first version, and ghouls, it's Dawn of the Dead, the last version.
Dawn of the Dead.
We should try and be sneaky about it, because it's just kind of the whole town's population, right? Wandering about.
At least.
Yeah.
The town was overrun at one point, so there might be more.
Mm-hmm.
Let's stealth.
Yeah, so we should be sneaky about it. And probably, I'd say go by because the train tracks are just kind of in the middle. Or are they? Do they just like cut through the town? Do they bridge over?
Yes, they go over the wall and into the town. And they will go to the maintenance yard where they can be redirected to either one of the maintenance shed or the actual railway system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, thinking about that setup, I feel like I've played this game before.
So stealthing, right?
Yeah.
22.
Okay.
Also, hey, after I roll this, 5.
Jorg.
Do you want me to use that?
That useful spell.
I got 5. I got a 14, and I'll cast that spell, so I end up with 24. Pass without
15.
trace.
What kind of because I totally should have got these at the last
Alright, I got a 32 now.
store, because you're saying the snow is like up to, like knee high.
Yeah, and in some alleys probably higher because it's been piling up and no one's been removing it.
Mm-hmm. Is everything difficult terrain pretty much?
Oh, well, freshly fallen snow, you're only a few weeks inside of winter. Freshly fallen snow is not that difficult terrain. But I'd say...
I'm wondering if we should look for some snowshoes.
Well, didn't the audience buy some? Just for himself, but...
Oh. I think it came up because his mountain lion cat thing can probably walk on top of it, because that's how their paws are designed.
I'd like to turn my silk all white.
Yeah, like a rabbit.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the thing itself is, I'm going to say yes to difficult terrain, but not because it's hard to walk in knee-deep snow, because you can't see what's under the snow, so you can trip on things.
Mm-hmm. Like walking in through, water that you can't see.
I'm gonna swing building to building with my silk, please. I don't have to touch the ground.
It's a good thing that that bird feet were designed with this particular kind of situation in mind.
Yes, they do look like snowshoes.
Well, also just as a fun fact, a lot of blood vessels are concentrated in the feet area, so that's why birds don't freak out anytime that they jump on snow.
So we're trying to get to that building, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I guess what's closer, the building or where the tracks would
The
converge?
maintenance yard would probably be closer than the building because they want to do maintenance on train that would be arriving immediately as they're arriving. They've been working for 8 hours straight.
Yeah. I guess we should swing by the maintenance yard first and then head to the building.
All right.
Right.
Unless you guys think if there is somebody there, they might know whether or not the tracks are set, and then we wouldn't have to bother trying to figure that out. But
Well, we could always check. I'll start walking that direction.
Which direction? Railroad or
To the
building?
no, to the building.
The building? Okay. All right, so Fisher got 15, Tobiyashi got 30-something because of the spell.
30.
Jorg, 20-something, audience and
20
Remy?
or 24.
18.
18.
I love how I got these boots, so I don't have disadvantage anymore, but I still just roll very bad.
It's just weird.
I'd like to see it.
It's just weird. You keep walking and you're so nimble. You raise your feet too high every time, and so when they hit the ground, you just feels like you're just stomping your way through.
Well, in fairness to Fisher,
That's what they stop.
in fairness to Fisher, he did dump dexterity and presumably is not proficient in stealth. So
Yeah, I have a +0 to stealth. It's just I keep rolling sub 10, regardless of no longer having disadvantage.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, and I guess the last question is, Remy, did you get natural 1?
no. There was a 3 next to that one, so I wound up with 34.
Yeah.
The last thing you see is just me shoot my silk off in the distance, and I'm gone.
I realized that the reason Fisher is having trouble is
works,
because
trust
he's
me.
not used to not making sound, because he's just used to his feet being so loud that he just doesn't bother being quiet anywhere else.
Or actually, no, he feels unsettled by the fact that he doesn't make sound. He actually purposefully makes sound with other parts of his body to make himself feel better.
Right.
I just want to picture someone walking in town going.
I am regardless of my literal footsteps stop making sound, I am a 300-pound metal dude.
So what I'm hearing is in Terranat's words, he might call you dummy thick.
Dummy dick.
That phrase has two
a
meanings.
clap of my plate mail is
He's alerting the guards.
It's just those plate, they just keep clapping together.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Remy simply disappears in the snow, even though he's all black. Tobiyashi actually turns white and disappears in the snow.
Go chameleon mode.
He might leave a slight orange trail, but
Yeah, there's just orange here and there.
And for some reason, now audience really feel like he's licking orange ice cream because he's licking the blood left in the snow.
Follow my trail. No, don't eat it, Audie. Oh my god.
All right. Fisher is making sound with his plate as he's walking. which means Jorg and audience. Audience, are you doing this on Magna?
No.
No? All right. So it feels nice, you know. You feel the snow between your toes. Ah, it brings memory.
Audience is wondering if the 20 feet of light that his mace is casting is causing a problem to his stealth.
You can turn that off, though.
He shoves it under his shirt. For some reason, you don't know why, but you feel like Remy would want you to shove this somewhere else, so it illuminates something else.
Okay.
Illuminate his secret cave.
All right.
Stop it.
So, with audience and his mace under his shirt, he's moving forward in the snow. It's E.T., but with the belly button. So, I guess you all follow Tobiyashi, who didn't leave you much of a choice and just left, or did you just let him go and go your own way?
I think we go to the same place that he is going.
I think we do need to stick next to him, if for no other reason than if we're gone for too long, he might assume that we're zombie infected and try to kill us.
Back.
That's a good point.
Buddy system. Don't wander off alone. All right, so you try and keep track of Tobiyashi, who's moving across the roofs. Well, it's mostly Remy who's keeping track of Tobiyashi as he's moving across the roof, because he did roll near to 30, I think. So half of the time, everyone is just following Remy. Or rather, they're following Remy's footstep. And that's an odd group you have.
He slightly digs his heel into the snow.
You know, you don't know why, but you always find those 3 marks of 2 claws and 1 behind. You know, oh, it's, yeah, okay, now that I see it, no. Bird feet. So,
Unmistakable.
you make your way across. Oh, okay. Okay. So the initial point where it's probably the hardest is when you start entering the town. You get the feeling that probably a lot of zombies followed a train leaving. So there's a rather large group of them just idle there, staring at nothing. You think one might have his legs frozen? Because only his upper body is just moving like this. But some of them are moving a little bit, taking a few steps forward. So this initial group, while Tobiyashi and Remy do not have any problem getting through, audience being confident about what he's doing, so is Jorg. Unfortunately, just as you're moving about, Fisher steps on something that sounds a lot like the rail of the railroad, and you hear tong. And immediately you see 7 or 8 of them just turn around and look in your general direction. Right now, they're just looking in your general direction, meaning they don't seem to have located you, but they do seem to be aware that you're in the vicinity. Some of them starts to move out of place and seem to be looking for you. Or rather, trying to perceive you, because looking is more like... So...
Oh, shit.
Yes, come fight me.
So wall of fire.
Did Jorg ever see the play Resident Evil?
No.
How aggressive are zombies towards constructs?
Well, this is the element which you're not sure. No one is exactly sure what draws the attention of a zombie. It's clear that they react to stimuli, sound, and probably smell for some of them. Those who still have their nose. But for some reason, zombies always seems to be able to be drawn to living things. So there might be something there, although it's probably more in the cusp of a sort of sixth sense that's not precise, that will eventually get them to living things. And you are a living thing because you're sentient.
Mm-hmm. That's
A
just...
purely mechanical thing might be able to slip through, but you technically register as a living thing.
I would like to use minor illusion to make a similar sound 30 feet away from me in the opposite direction of the direction we're trying to go.
Okay. Okay. You look at them moving and you wait for the perfect moment to Tong! In the distance. As their group was slowly getting tighter around your own group. Well, you think your own group because you're not sure where Tobiashi is, and you think you know where Remy is, but you don't have visual confirmation. So basically, you're sure that they were drawing closer to you, Jorg, and audience. The moment you make that sound, nearly all of them just go, and you see maybe 4/5 of their group moving off. Only 2 or 3 of them are left behind, just and they just stop moving. They stop looking for you, but they're still there.
Alright, could I try and sneak past them?
Well, you know, no one's
Can't
answering you,
stop
audience.
you from clubbing one as you sneak by, but I am going to try to sneak past them now.
Audience looks sad and follows.
I'll just sneak past.
Remy, your heart bleeds for audience, but it's probably for the best.
By the time we're off this island, you're going to have killed so many undead that you lose track.
Like, Remy
Never
just wishes
just
nothing more
three.
than for audience happiness.
There is only 3.
Yeah, but the other 15 are literally only 30 feet that way.
I'm sure
Yeah,
they
let's
wouldn't
not.
notice. That divine
No.
smite.
They might not
Somebody-
notice Ramy's sneak attacking, but you don't, disguise your attacks very well. No offense.
Especially those that are a divine strike. He does have to conjure his god before he does this.
On his
Why is
debates
it
on how worth it is to suddenly slap Jorg and then be like, did I disguise that? But decides against it.
Like, why is every 6 seconds there's like this holy grenade explosion?
I mean, I could do it pretty sneaky with the radiant damage.
Now we're good. We'll keep going. We have more important things than 3 zombies.
All right.
My head popped out of the snow for that, and then I just put it back.
For some reason, Toby.
Careful, Toby. The snow worms will get you.
They're back.
Not the snow worms. Not again.
Yeah, that's right. Toby actually did believe the story about snow worms.
He did, but we told him later we were lying. But he did believe it initially, which is why I made that joke.
So probably Toby actually, you have the initial of no, come on.
God damn it. And then all of a sudden you feel something grab your foot and I'm just like...
And you see it's Remy smiling at you.
Alright.
So you keep on pushing forward and you get past that initial group. You move through one street, then another street connecting to the main street, to the town square. You feel confident that nothing is there. You did see a few of them in the streets. Some of them are huddling behind buildings where the wind and the snow won't cover them up completely. But they don't seem to react all that much to you passing. You're quiet enough. However, when you get to the town square, you sort of have a moment of, oh yeah, that's always how it is in plays with them. There's a rather large number of them. Fortunately, the building is on the other side. You probably have something like 70 feet from where you are to the other side. It's completely exposed, and you can see at the very least 20 to 30 zombies. Most of them idle. Some of them seems to be chasing something very small, just moving. Apparently the sound is making them react. Jorg, at this time of the year, you can probably deduce it's something like a field mouse moving under the snow, and they're probably reacting to the squeaking sound it makes. Zombies are not known to eat small animals, but it is still sound, and it's making them react. So a few of them are more vigilant than the rest.
Yeah.
They are just like out because this is like the center
Yes.
of the town, or are they like specifically like huddled around the building?
Well, of course you can see them. You can see some between buildings in the streets there, but in the town square itself, there is probably between 20 or 30 of them, in a loose but still dense group. Judging from the way that zombies can move, you'd say that it was probably a swarm effect, in the sense that probably a few of them heard something and then they started chasing, and because the others heard those zombies moving, they just started moving with them, and they ended up here in town. You're not sure if it's because they caught it or they lost track of it, but that's probably what happened. And they've been here ever since, waiting for something else to stimulate their sense.
Okay.
Sounds like they need some 5 gum.
Hashtag non-spawn.
That's fun.
But I don't think I would mind.
Okay.
So it would be harder
What do you-
digging through this without being seen.
Can we go like around through like alleys and stuff?
Yes, of course, but you'd be exposing yourself to more zombies in close quarters instead of this, which is a very open place.
What do you guys?
It's the classic short but very dangerous, or long but less dangerous.
I think we should go short and very dangerous because the worst that could happen is we get to fight 30 zombies.
That is true.
Okay, audience, I know you're like chomping at the bit to smack some zombies around. And I also know that you will be able to smack some zombies around. The rest of us are not quite as equipped as you are to smack some zombies around.
Okay, if you want my actual answer, I think we should take the short route. I think that an alley is always dangerous because I think we could easily get stuck in between two groups and then have no way out. Where in a large group, obviously they have trouble seeing us. They're obviously not super observant, which means we actually have more space to move about, even though there are actually more zombies and less chances of us actually getting like trapped in an alley where we have to fight.
But I also feel like if we take the short route, any zombies we come across in an alley, we would be able to more likely dispatch without drawing the attention of the others. Right? Like if it's just like 2 or 3 in an alley, we should be able to hopefully take them out pretty quickly. But if it's like any of those in there kind of notice, I feel like we're gonna have to either fight all of them or just, I guess we could just book it.
Each
But
route has
like,
pros and cons.
I don't feel like whoever's hanging out in there, if there is anybody, and it's not just, I don't know, something else, would appreciate us drawing all of their zombies specifically to their front door.
I agree. I guess I was just saying, like, I also like that it seems, at least from what I can observe, all the zombies here are kind of the basic zombies, instead of where, like, if we go somewhere we don't know, we might run into, like, one of the other enemies Remy mentioned, which could be, like, more dangerous. But
Are they?
I think so. I mean, we can see all of them.
DM, can we tell?
By deduction, those you can see in this town square do look like normal zombies. Ghouls would have better perception. They would be actively looking for something. They're smarter. You can see that less.
They're not doing the zombie wander.
No, and an ogre zombie, well, you'd see it from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They fail their stealth check.
Yeah. I guess so my point is just, I know the enemy in front of us, where it's kind of the unknown, right, if we go somewhere else.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. I guess, do we want to book it straight to, like, can we see the building, like the base of it from where we're at, or would we?
Yeah, like I said, it's on the other side. It's a
Okay.
It's a good sprint getting to the other side. 70 feet from where you are, of clear space. These towns, they've been abandoned for quite a long time. The reason why you can still make out the shape of these buildings is a lot of it is made out of stone. So roofs might have collapsed, but most walls still stand. Because it's not like they were being bombarded. Time will have passed, but zombies scratching at brick walls or stone walls, it's gonna take quite a while to get them down.
Actually, Raimi, do you think you could like sneak over, like a ways over that way, and because you have minor illusion, and make a noise to try and draw them kind of away, and then come back, and then we can to see if we can clear them out a little more before we cross.
So the easy question is, Remy, did you stay close enough to the group to hear this?
Standard, just talking, assuming he's nearby.
He's not here right now. I'm just right next to you.
Maybe you can't come to the phone right now.
I can take a message after the beep. Wait, no beep.
Well, yeah, Remy can do a beep.
I think Remy would at the least tap you on the shoulder. Like, in fact, he'll probably tap you on the shoulder after realizing you're talking in the wrong direction.
Uh-huh. Oh, there. Yeah, you think you could like sneak over there and try and do the trick I pulled back there and divert some of them?
I guess that's a question for the DM. It's like, is that feasible, or is that
You can
basically just as risky as just us going through as a group?
Well, I figure because we're like on the other side of like the town square from this thing, right? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So if Remy stays on like our side of the buildings, I guess, but just moves a ways down, he would be able to stick to the relative safety of not out in the open.
Well, Remy, I'd say your concern would probably the same as audience. You'd be throwing sound in a direction you have not properly scouted. And if you properly scouted before doing this, it would mean you being alone in a place you don't know what's there before you arrive. Granted, you'd be stealthed, but still a place you don't know. And
Okay. Oh, no. As a previous discussion just gave, like, I myself an idea. So Rainy is going to poof our cat friend into existence.
oh, gee.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Because they're not interested in the small animals, but they are attracted by the sound
Yeah.
and also doubles as a means of scouting.
That scene where they're on top of the mall and they see the dog down there.
Yeah, something like this.
I think before Raimi does this, though, like, he's gonna go pull out some food rations as an offering of preemptive apologies for
Something
anything that might happen.
Okay. Your cat has a moment where he looks at you and he looks at the food and he looks at you. And, you can swear you can hear in your mind, are you serious?
Like, oh no, audience
Just
is turning them against us.
over their mental connection, just the concept of if I had a choice.
He looks at the food ration. He looks at you again. And you have this feeling inside of your mind that just pops in really loudly, as if he was screaming, "Better be fish when I come back." He very reluctantly starts moving away. While all of this is happening, Tobiyashi, what are you doing? You did go first. Are you waiting?
I'm already at the front door. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I would stay by the group a little bit, kind of
Okay.
just keeping watch, making sure that nothing's sneaking up on us, stuff like that.
Okay. And make a perception
and
roll.
They want Remy to do this. Uh, 18.
Okay. All right. So you send Twinkling Bell. Hopefully not to his doom, but you never know. All right. So he starts moving through the alleys. I guess you don't want him to make noise until he gets there, so maybe a stealth roll.
Yeah. Let me just dust off the
I wrap him
dust
up
off
in a
the
white
stat
silk.
block real quick. I think they have a +3, but don't quote me on that until I've seen it.
I just want to
No,
picture...
+4.
+4, alright. I just want to picture your audience right now. Oh, come on, this is so long. It's right there.
He's gripping his mace. He's like,
Yeah, he's getting a little anxious. He gets his mace out and he starts chewing on it, literally.
Would not get my mace out again. That would shine a lot of bright light everywhere.
You can turn it off.
Can I?
Yes.
hey, question. Did somebody give me?
You could use a bonus action to make
Did
it
somebody
shine
give me
bright
those
light.
cloths?
Or not.
Did I get cloths or something?
What? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry, never mind. That's a different weapon.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't
like-
turn off.
Yeah, I'm like,
My
no, it
bad.
doesn't.
What weapon is that?
You can cover
Uh.
it, but you can't just turn it off.
It does look like I have a literal flashlight under my shirt right now.
That's why I said E.T., but with his belly button. Tobiyashi, I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I was asking if did Sam give me those cloths for like turn undead or something like that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, okay. So,
It's the sword of sharpness that you can turn it off.
thank you.
Alright, so Twinkling Bell starts moving, and you said his stealth roll was...
Oh, I hadn't yet.
Okay.
You guys are having a different conversation. It's like unless it's boosted by Pass Without Trace, just a 15.
Okay. So he starts moving. Well, fortunately for him, he's mostly white, and the snow is white. So he starts moving slowly and carefully. Goes through in front of one building, and two building. Then there's this first intersection. So right now he's probably just 40 feet away from you as he's moving. And there comes a point where he finds himself in front of 5 zombies, which are all huddled up between 2 buildings. He has that moment of, and he starts slowly moving forward. One point, he does have a when one of them starts moving, and he just starts moving a little bit faster, but makes it to the other side. Apparently the zombie was not reacting to the cat. He was reacting to something else. Just a little bit of snow that fell from a rooftop. So, cat is there, and you can feel inside of your head of his heartbeat. Yeah. He keeps on moving, and right now it's easier to go toward the town square. The wall is too large. You would have to go deep inside of the alleys. So he starts moving near the walls. Unfortunately, he seems to be doing really good. Until he arrives in front of a door and you feel the fear inside of your cat for a brief moment as he moves in front of the door and he looks inside. But just as you think, oh, what is he seeing? And you think about going inside of his eyes, you see this pile of snow that just falls on him from another rooftop, and you see the zombie just going, and he touches the snow a little bit and leaves it there. It's actually a pretty good roll because the cat got really covered by that snow. So he slowly...
Although now his balls are cold.
Yeah, he can't help it. He can either be safe or have cold balls. So the camera follows him, and now we have a really good shot of him moving with his tail up, just like Sam's cat did. And so he starts moving off, and he sees a good place. I think, all right, that there seems to be a few debris in the way. It should make them shuffle a bit and try and push through. That seems to be an interesting place. You know, door of this small house has been completely caved in, but the roof itself collapsing inside makes for a whole lot of debris. So he starts getting inside, moves in, goes completely at the back of this building, and then he freezes in place. And he's looking at something. Unfortunately, right now you can't see him, but you feel the fear inside of him. He had this spike of adrenaline, and oh god, you feel his thoughts going toward the fish. And it's suddenly becoming a more complex fish meal, you know? He starts smelling cooked fish.
Drenched lightly in lemon juices. Served with meow mix.
So suddenly you hear, coming from where you are, what sounds like a piece of wood falling, and then a piece of a roof collapsing. Immediately you hear a whole lot of undead starting to move from this. And then you hear a very unpleasant howl in that building. Something that just bursts out, and you can see part of this creature sticking up from where you are. It moves up one of the beams and starts looking around. You do recognize this more vivid look of something looking around, screaming a little bit, having this high-pitched scream that feels like a woman, but a really really rough woman's voice, just looking around, looking inside the debris. And because of this, you see a lot of zombies reacting and starting to move in that direction. You see them coming out of buildings, some of them just pushing their way out through a destroyed window. And you see this wave of zombies moving across the town center, going toward where Remy's poor cat is.
I think this is probably as good a time as any, where Remy's just going to use his action to bring back to his little pocket boy.
Just as you're about to do this, you can feel the spike of adrenaline in him, and oh god! And you snap him back. And even though he is in his dimensional space, you can still feel his heart pumping extremely hard. And if he had a voice, you'd probably be hearing say, "It's gonna be fish. It's 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 gonna be fish."
Speaking of opportunities, we might want to take this as all the zombies move off to move.
Let's go.
Incidentally, in that brief research that Remy was able to do, relatively brief anyway, were any of them described as, well, basically screeching?
Most likely what you drew the attention of is a ghoul. So this one is very aware, and this one can run, sprint. It is looking for the sound of it, and now that the sound is gone, it's going to be looking for it for a while.
All right, just keeping that in mind, just looking to audience, nodding vigorously, and just kind of quickly, but also still quietly, just
All right. Well, I guess we're crossing the town center.
Yep.
As I quietly go to Fisher, you see Fisher? Never know what's out there. Always take the known enemy over the unknown.
All right. So initially you see...
That was my idea.
That is my idea.
It was my idea.
So you see all of these...
And then Tyranad inside of Fisher. It's I really liked Audience's idea.
Sure, yeah. Sure it was, champ. Sure it was.
Totally gaslighting Fisher for fun.
Oh, Tyranad would probably go, yeah, I don't think it's a good thing if you're starting to think like him.
No, not what you said. What Raimi just did that cleared everybody out. So now it's easier to do this.
All right, so
Never mind.
you start moving. As you start moving, you don't know why. You just hear Fisher say this as he's trying to be stealthy. You know, it's not the right time to argue with Tyranad.
Yeah, come on now, Fisher. We're trying to be sneaky, man. Come on.
Stop talking to yourself.
Stop making out with your boyfriend.
Fisher, there are higher stakes at risk here. Come on now.
All right, so as you try to move across this space, make another stealth roll.
All right. We still got the spell up, right?
Yes, it hasn't been an hour.
Hey. 24.
That's a lot better.
Yeah,
I also got a 24.
nice. Jorg?
I've enrolled. Where is it? There.
We all have to reroll?
Yeah. You all stopped. You waited for Remy to do something. Remy did
Ooh.
something.
I got a 31.
Nice.
I could not tell when you went ooh if that was a good ooh or a bad ooh. I'm glad it was a good ooh.
Usually it's not a good ooh.
All right. Tobiyashi?
A 33 this time.
Nice. Remy, did you roll a natural 1?
It's like I know, but the next worst thing, but it kind of makes sense considering what just recently happened. But even a 2 on the die is still a 23 with pass without trace.
Okay.
Remy has the lowest stealth roll. If it gets seen, it's Remy's fault.
I don't know why. I think that would hurt Remy more than actually getting hurt. Audience saying it's his fault.
Oh my god, it's the parent comment. I'm not mad, Remy. I'm disappointed.
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 Like I don't know when audience picked up that level in Rogue, but he just sneak attacked his heart.
Oh no, it's actually a level in Bard.
Vicious Monger.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so you all start moving toward the center, and you only make 3 steps until you realize, there are waves of these. You all step back just a little bit. Fortunately, you all rolled pretty high because the DC for that first one was 19. And you wait until you see the second wave moving across the town square. And you all look left, you all look right. You see that ghoul climbing up on top of the building, looking around, actively screaming, drawing even more zombies to this place. But it starts moving in a different direction than where you are. So you all take this opportunity to start moving across the town square. And you have this moment of saying, oh wow, that's nice. Since they all move in the town square, they all shoved the snow aside as they were moving. So you have a very easy way across. Nothing to disturb you. You don't have to worry about tripping over anything. They literally shoveled the snow as they all move across this place. So you make your way to the other side, still looking around, being very careful about everything you're doing. And then you get to where that building is. Well, the first floor is still covered in snow. The door seems to be closed, and you're not sure if it's functional or not, but it is mostly intact. There do seem to have been several claw marks. Something might have tried to get in there at one point and abandoned. There are several windows, but as you are there trying to push your way in, you do hear inside movement, things being shuffled around. You hear something fall over. Something probably made out of metal because it makes a whole lot of sound. You just hear clang, clang, clang.
How tall is this building?
It's a 2-story building, so 2 floors. And you have this moment of when you feel the shiver going up your spine. You turn around and you realize that as that whatever it was fell inside, fortunately the ghoul was screaming its way inside of a building, which the perimeter must have been sealed off for some reason, but it completely covered the screen, the falling objects. And even as you're there and having this moment of relief, you actually see a zombie pushing its way through a window and just getting up and start moving away from where you are. Probably right in front of Jor. You just... But he just got up and moved in the opposite direction. And there's silence where you are right now as you hear something tearing through a building, the side of a building, probably 100 feet away.
Window.
So what do you do?
Through the window? No. What are we doing?
I'm waiting for your reaction. That's it.
Break the door.
Your stealth was higher than what I rolled, so you didn't get noticed. Right now, you're safe. Emphasis on right now.
But we're going in, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see how you get in.
Through the window.
Through the
When
wall?
I look at the other stories of this, look at the second story.
Yep.
Are there windows on the second story? Like maybe a balcony or something. Windows.
No balconies, but windows.
walk
Yes.
out.
You do
Windows.
recognize from your angle that it feels like a window that has been completely broken out, or maybe fell. You're not sure.
I can check the top side and meet you guys down at the bottom.
Is there a door?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a door.
Like I said, it is closed, so you're not sure if it's barred up inside, because you have confirmation that there were zombies inside. They just burst through a window and left.
Yeah, the window.
I'm gonna go try the door.
All right. So the door itself does seem to be a little bit hard to open, but you could try and force your way in.
Like how hard? Like locked or like it's boarded?
Not even boarded. More like someone probably shoved something very heavy on the other side, and it hasn't completely fallen apart. So it seems to want to move, but every time you try to open it, it feels like it's getting stuck on something.
That's a 16 athletics roll to just push the door.
While that's happening, I'm gonna shoot my silk up that second story window and then climb through it.
All right. Acrobatic.
Oh God, I'm not too good at that.
Says the monk.
Should be second nature
Who
for you,
picked
but
acrobatic? Okay. Okay, that's
And-
16.
16. All right, that's good. All right,
That's got
so
16.
as Tobiyashi shoots his silk up and starts to moving up the silk, just like a spider, moving through his own silken thread, audience flexes up and bursts through the water. It didn't hold very well. The door just bursted off its hinges, and you have confirmation because of the debris that it was 2 tables that had been overturned to block there, and you are now in the middle of a field of broken table shards, and your shirt is ripped.
Nice.
Well, that wasn't loud.
I'm just gonna be standing there, kind of holding the broken door, like, oops. Well, it's open.
I feel like my passive insight is enough to just be
I
like,
rush everybody inside and close the door.
Close the
Or
door.
put it back in place.
I prop the door back into its the hole.
And then I put the lever on the wall and lock it.
All right.
Hopefully Toby's inside by the time you do that.
Yeah, I climbed. Yeah, I'm already up there. Hopefully.
All right. Interesting. All right. So put it on the wall and lock everything. No, locking is up. Sorry.
Yeah,
lock
starting
it
down.
very well. And there's a moment where you say, "Oh, that's such a good idea," and then there's a second, "Oh, maybe that's not a good idea," because there's a lot of windows missing. So it feels like the spell is trying to improvise, and you push it up. Audience feels the door blocking itself on the wall. And, yeah, cool. It's holding by its own, and then you start hearing all of those little things and board and things like this going, and everything just shoves itself in front of the windows. Deliver improvised window shutters.
I'd like to think I barely got through the window in time.
You get through the windows, and just as you're entering, you see this small table coming right at your face. You duck down, and it just shoves itself in the space that you just used to enter.
That was easy enough.
So you have this moment of there where you can't see outside. Right now, you can still hear the ghoul, but you sort of had this moment of, I hope no one heard that, because now we're in a fortified place. I feel like this is every single zombie play I've seen. All right.
It's fine.
Well, I start looking upstairs. What's on the second story here?
The break.
Break.
You hit the checkpoint. Good job.
You see a man having a tea break.
I get to a desk on the little parchment. It says, "Be back soon." I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Just like barely lit up.
Be back in 10 minutes. And then you look at the date, and it's been 25 years.
I slept too long.
All right, so I know that I said it's winter, but winter sound don't necessarily make for good breaks, so we're going to go with the frogs and everything. Marsh sounds. See you again in 15 minutes. Bye.
It's a frozen
Yes,
lake.
frogs, the classic winter noise.
Absolutely.
No.
Hello and welcome back. Hope you had a pleasant break. In case you didn't see, Valen V subscribed again. I think she's worried for Remy's cat. See, it's part of the gift. I'm letting the marsh sound play a little bit more. But unfortunately, it's middle of winter, so we have to stop the marsh sound. Here, after the toads. After the toads. So it's just a... Alright, now it's just laughing at you. Let's go back in. Alright, well, hopefully Fisher's going to be back soon. I think he left in a hurry. Maybe it's diarrhea. Because... Alright, so you all find yourself inside of the building. Tobiyashi on the second floor, everyone else on the first floor, as Fisher was proud of having completely sealed off the building. Hopefully, it's not gonna be assaulted by zombies, but hey!
Did you say hopefully or not, or unhopefully?
Hopefully, it's not gonna be...
Okay.
Well, yeah, no, that's true. I think audience wants it to be invaded by zombies. So you just want to be there next to Fisher, his hand on the levers. It's not gonna hold. We have to pull it down. Sorry. And then you just hear audience go, "Woohoo!" All right.
Okay.
So, well, since Fisher is not here right now, we're going to go with Tobiyashi on the second floor.
All right. I would like to see what's on the second floor. I'll check the whole second floor. Well, yeah, I'll check the whole second floor.
All right. Well, press Alt B for your make a perception roll.
Is that or investigation? No, right?
Well, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to rummage through everything that's there, investigation. If you just want to have a good look around, perception. Sorry.
Just touch all the rusted nails.
I'll investigate. 17?
All right.
16 plus 1?
Well, you get in and you start looking through everything. You move things around, you push them aside, you open drawers and look on bookshelves, and from the first floor, you sort of have a moment, oh no, there are zombies on the second floor. As you hear things falling over and being pushed around. Oh, damn. Fisher, you stressed?
Yeah, I sneezed and punched myself in the face.
Damn.
It's
all
just
very
dry in
novel.
here. And I get bloody noses because I get bloody noses.
Don't worry, I know what this is. I've got a lot of bloody noses when I was young. Not because I'm a fighter, but just because...
You were looking at too many beautiful women.
Yeah.
How? Explain that to me.
I'll investigate
How does that work?
quietly. I'll investigate quietly if I can.
It increases your heart rate so much that the blood vessel in your nose bursts.
Okay.
So basically, you have a boner, but in your nose. But since it can't handle it, it just goes.
That's
Interesting.
I don't know. It's a trope from anime. When they see beautiful women, they get bloody noses.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you don't watch it, so you don't know.
No.
wouldn't know.
Missing out.
It's been a while since I watched any, but I used to like them. All right. So, as you hear something rummage through the second floor and pushing things aside, maybe there's zombies on the second floor.
Run upstairs. That's where Toby is.
Wait, before you start running upstairs, you hear, "Ah, fuck, my foot! Oh shit!
Oh, damn! That's hard."
You know, see Artie's goats. He's bit. We're gonna have to sacrifice him.
God damn it!" I'll continue to investigate unless I get interrupted by someone.
Audience has this intrusive thought. Oh yeah, zombies. I'm gonna have to hit him by surprise with the divine smite. Let's go!
Open the door. Oh shit! Wait!
All right, so you rush. You rush on the. Damn, everyone's gonna think zombies are on the way because Tobiashi's rummaging around in the second floor, trying to look at everything he can, pushing things, having them fall on the floor, and trying to figure out what's happening in there. So everyone thinks that there's zombies on the second floor, so everyone starts rushing toward the second floor. So Tobiashi, on the second floor, you start hearing things rush through the first floor and
Oh shit!
push things around. You know they're coming through that door.
The door is magically locked, so none of the doors can open inside. Anyways, I'm going to.
No, everything outside is locked.
I'll just assume that it's them, and guys, you good? Is there something downstairs?
No, we're good. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm just looking through stuff.
I come up the
Investigating?
stairs.
You could come in if you want to.
Fisher says while holding audience back with his mace out.
A chair almost hit me in the face. I mean, a table almost hit me in the face.
What?
A table, it like magnetically attached to the window.
Oh. Weird.
Yeah.
He says from the other side of the door.
Thought I was gonna have to fight something in here, so no, I'm just looking around, seeing if there's anything in here. Checking, secret doors, entryways, stuff like that.
He says as you
I,
all
like,
enter
open-
the room, and
Yeah.
from inside
Take
of
it
your
up there.
mind, Fisher, you hear Taranad go, "Oh yes, look, there's a secret door on the wall over there leading outside. Maybe you should tell him."
Oh, like that door?
Which is a hole on the wall.
No, not that one. Well, I was gonna just check the top. Like, what if there's stuff that we could find in here? Figure out what people left behind, who was here before, how long it's been.
All right. So,
Yeah. All right.
as you all rushed in and reconnect with your friend on the second floor, you didn't have a lot of time to see what was happening on the first floor, but at least you're readily sure that everything's being locked down magically. Tobiyashi, you were starting to move things around, and one thing you noticed very quickly is that most of this space seemed to have been abandoned, and you were just about to make your way into a second room, and the room that you were, sort of like maybe it was a storage room for something, you're not sure.
Yeah.
Everyone gets there, and you start talking from on each side of the door. You know, both of you ready for attacking something that might come through, but only the voice of your friends come through on both sides. So you are invited in, and Tobiyashi starts telling you that I don't know, he was just moving about things, he's just looking through the shelves and, you know, investigating. It's the only way to call it. Looking around, especially with a good passive perception, it does look like someone was here not too long ago. But you don't see a lot of indication of anything, with the exception that it's a bit weird. That even though there are holes in the roof, there's no snow inside. I wanted to say a funny thing, but George, maybe you should turn a light on.
It does look like you're about to murder someone.
You're muted.
Oh yeah.
Trying to play into the spooky.
Yeah,
Zombie
I'm one of the zombies.
boy.
Yeah, he's the one that was waiting on the other side. You didn't see him, but he
Actually,
turned into
his
a bird.
face was kind of reminding me of that girlfriend meme. You know, just like,
Yeah, I think I know which one. Alright, so, you all get in on second floor, and you notice this, and Tobiyashi explained to you, he was looking over there, and over there, and over there. There does seem to be an intent in the room to have placed things a bit more orderly. And like I said, there's no snow that seems to have fallen through the roof and in the room. So there is that element of strange. But Tobiyashi does eventually lead you to the room that he was just about to investigate. And
Oh yeah, guys, I was just about to check over here.
he enters a small room. Like I said, it was either storage or maybe a place for someone to receive visitors, place to sleep. It's not a big room, but in that room, you notice that there's one wall seems to have been thoroughly cleaned, and something's written on the wall. In front of the wall, on a small desk, there is something that looks like a D20, glowing a very light blue. There is a sort of a metal hand holding it open. It more like it feels like it's been put there. The hand is there, much like it would hold a jewelry. So it's fixed to the to this crystalline element. It's pulsing very slowly.
Hey guys, there's something in here.
also
Glowing.
for some reason, in one corner, it reads, "Never forget 3rd October 11."
Hey, it looks like something magic. Somebody, magic person.
I go look at it.
All right. What language does Terranad have right now?
Currently, I want to say construct. Let me double check. Where are you? Yes, construct.
All right. So, as you get in, you immediately recognize the construct language on the wall. It is a message from Civ.
Oh shit!
What the fuck?
Mr. CIV himself.
What does it say?
Apparently, he turned his boosters on again.
It just says from Civ. That's
Yeah, that's it. That's all that's written on the wall.
Yeah.
I'm writing you about your car's extended warranty.
yeah. Civ. Oh, there's some more. Oh, Civic.
It's like forget that total like Rome Total War bullshit. Play Civ.
So you recognize it immediately, this language. And also, since you do have now a level in Wizard, you would not need to do a roll for the second part of the message. For everyone else entering the room, if you have proficiency in Arcana, I'm not going to make you roll. If you don't, and you're not a wizard, you do have to roll if you want to read the message.
Roll.
Natural 21. Natural 20.
All right.
What are
I
you
don't know
rolling?
anything about magic though. So.
Arcana?
Arcana, yeah.
Oh, I got a -1 to that. I have very low shots. It's going well.
I only
That's a 9.
All right. So as you all pile in and start and enter this, and you have to rely on Fisher for initial interpretation of the message, especially the part that is in machine. So for you, Fisher, the message from Civ, translate roughly as follow. Hopefully you can read this message before too long. I will be waiting for all of you where we need to be in order to continue. I will wait for you for as long as this keeps on glowing. After this point, I will need to move on. Fisher, because you have a level in sorcerer, not in sorcery, in wizard. And Tobiashi.
It's like, wow, where'd he get the charisma?
Damn.
Tragic. It was from Terranad, obviously.
Yeah, sure. Tobiashi, you sort of have a moment where if you look at this, I've seen those things before. It's an equation.
Don't know anything else.
Exactly. For you, Fisher, you look at this wall, and because you've started to be used to doing research and have now what it takes to build spell, you recognize it as an arcane mathematical formula. It is a rate of decay, meaning the orb has temporary magic inside. And it is giving you the rate at which the orb will lose its magic. With this information, you know without effort that a simple detect magic will give you the missing variable for you to determine how long it's going to take for that orb to lose all of its power.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'll let everybody know. I am gonna have to sit down to cast a detect magic to figure this thing out. If you guys wanna, I don't know, look around for 10 minutes.
What does it say, Fisher?
Yeah, sorry.
I know that's
sometimes when Terned's translating, he just like automatically does it, and sometimes I don't notice. That's not just common. He says he's waiting at where we will need to continue from.
Who says?
Civ. Oh, there's a message from Civ.
Fisher continuing to bury the lead.
Hey, I got 9 wisdom.
Well, at least he's still alive.
That's good. And he can still communicate.
Yeah. But
And he
yeah,
can do math.
And he can do math.
Just like the whole
yeah,
party
he's-
just looks at Tobiyashi.
Monk's education, it can be who knows what they focused on.
It's 1, 2, 3 punch.
Suddenly the party just feels very uncomfortable letting him hold on to any amount of the party's money.
Wait. I wasn't good at everything. I just wasn't good at everything. Okay.
Anyway,
In your head,
Civ.
fishing here, that doesn't help.
Civ will be waiting at what I assume is where we will be departing to the spire from. And he will wait there as long as this thing is glowing.
Okay.
I need to do a quick detect magic to finish out this formula so I can figure out how long it's gonna.
All right.
That's
And then
gonna
I
be.
guess we'll look around while you do that. Was that like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should we destroy the stairs so they can't get up here?
Oh,
But
no, they don't know where we are.
the whole building is like that.
But you never know. For now.
But the lever is still down there. So don't destroy the stairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go investigate the rest of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go help. I'll use my dog to smell around too.
Is it? I don't know if you. Maybe you already said it and I missed it. Is this house warmer?
No, but it is devoid of snow.
Okay, but it's not warm though.
No.
So
You know what? Let me be intelligent, and let's use a divine sense when we're in here just to make sure there are no enemies behind some secret door or something that's going to pop out on us.
Do I need to roll a new investigation?
No, that can still be on your own investigation.
Yeah.
if
All right.
you-
I'm using one divine sense, by the way.
Okay.
That's like celestial fiends, undead within 60 feet, or anything affected by the Hallow spell.
I don't think it goes through cover though. Does
No, it doesn't. So it'd just be in the open spaces. So if something was like, I guess, yeah, if it was like fully behind cover, I wouldn't notice it. But just in the general area.
Yeah. So basically, if it's behind a wall, you can't see it.
Yeah.
So you take a moment and you breathe in, and other than that really sickening feeling of being surrounded by undeath, because now your sense actually detects the mist. So it feels like you're swimming in undeath. No, it's not detecting anything in the room and what you can see from the adjacent rooms.
Okay. I think we are clear up here, guys, by the way. I don't think there are any enemies in the house, so we're free to search around.
Audience says as a reflex shiver just goes through his body as he feels
So
the undeath just wash over him.
Or want to help me? Want to help me look over this side of the house?
Yeah. I'll come help.
I guess we're all rolling investigations.
Mhm.
Actually,
rolled.
I'll just give Remy advantage. I'll just go with Remy.
All right.
I'll just give Toby advantage because I don't have good.
I'll just roll again to see if I roll higher. That is what is mine? It's just +1. Unnatural 20.
Nice.
All right. And Remy?
I guess I should have asked if Remy was going, but if he is going, I'll give him advantage.
No, it's right on brand with audience. He sees Jorg going Tobiyashi. He just says, Remy, I'll go with you. Investigate everything. So, Remy, look at. I didn't say anything. Okay.
Let's go investigate the tight, dark closets together. Where no one can see us.
Wait.
Now you have his attention.
All right. So, what's your investigation, Remy?
It's like, well, now I'll roll it. I'm choosing to believe that this was an audience's contribution. So that'll be a 27.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's totally audience because, he's a bit taller than you and he's entering room before you, so you just keep watching his butt all along and he just keeps rummaging around and you have a few moments where you say, I think we didn't watch under the table over there.
As we're looking around, I'll talk to Jorg. I'll be like, so, Jorg, you ever wonder what we'd probably be doing if we didn't get summoned by the garden?
I guess, yeah. I would still be working with regular old farmers, probably. What would you be doing?
I have no idea. Probably with my master doing something.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't be back at the monastery. I didn't do too good over there.
Oh.
I'd probably be trying to prove myself in other ways. Maybe doing like a fight club or something. That sounds fun.
Yeah? Is that something monks get into?
No, definitely not. No.
Okay.
Well, we spar sometimes, but never a fight club.
Interesting.
It'd probably be just like
However, mud wrestling is not off the table.
Wait, where'd that come from? I was thinking about maybe starting a farm would be nice. That'd be cool. Being like a common person, I haven't thought about it in a long time. I don't think I'd be able to go back to it now, since
No.
it's kind of all I know. Murdering people. Well, not murder. Well, okay, saving people.
Saving people through
Oh man,
questionable morals.
I wish Fisher was there when he said that.
Yeah.
Just an idea.
Yeah.
It's been on my mind lately since I blew up like 7,000 times already.
Thinking about
Like imagine if we took a regular villager, a regular townsperson, just a commoner on an adventure with us. How long do you think they'd survive?
They wouldn't.
You don't
They'd
think
probably-
so?
Not very long. Well, maybe we could keep them alive, but if they went through what we go through,
Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. We should keep looking around.
yeah.
A page in everyday life of Tobiashi and Jorg.
Like, I have dreams, man.
I have
Starting a
dreams.
farm.
Maybe beating people up. What for money? For money, obviously.
A farm to beat people up.
Also, just complete side note. It's like, even though that's not precisely your character's name, George just so happens to have like a root in meaning that roughly translates to like a farm worker or one who works off the land.
Oh.
You didn't know you had a
And
good
George might be related to the name. I don't know which came first.
I gotta go check my potatoes.
Potatoes.
That's George is the jungle.
Uh-huh.
name. All right. Well, while Tobiashi is looking at his potatoes.
That sounds like an innuendo, but it's not.
All right, Remy. So basically, probably Jorg and Tobiashi takes the first floor, and audience and Remy take the second floor, or unless you want to reverse that.
I feel like the second floor just has like more stuff to look about, so that seems accurate.
Okay. All right, so you start rummaging through things, and make sure to not disturb Fisher as he's ritual casting.
Since I'm doing this to fill out an equation, but essentially I'm just like doing
Math.
just like math.
Yeah.
Like, here, let me pull out my math book real quick. I gotta do some equations.
You start filling out the board next to Sib's equation, and you isolate the
Pull
variables
an
and write them
abacus
down
out
there.
of nowhere.
Then you have to
I already get that.
actually
I was in
open
my
up your
pocket
math
this whole
book.
time.
But then you have to like pull out your math book again because you forgot how to do integrals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you think about Remy, and you realize he can't solve a math problem he's never seen before. It's how Kenku can't do this. Wow. Hey. You're gonna have to show him everything you just did so he can now start solving this type of problem.
Bummer.
Sucks to be a Kenku.
Or if Fisher gets the dark thought, or I don't teach him, and I make myself an irreplaceable member
Yeah.
of this party.
Alright. So, with you, audience, and Remy, you look around second floor as much as you can through everything you can find. Most of it is abandoned, and it's been abandoned for a long while. The reason why everything hasn't just fallen apart and disappeared. A lot of buildings will fall apart within, 100 years. Even those made of stone, because usually the floors are made of wood. But you sort of recognize that these have been treated in some way to withstand a lot, withstand the passage of time. Maybe it's because it's a town that was more important. Maybe that was exactly the point, try and resist invasion by undead should they breach the walls. Have a good place where you can hide and they can't just dig through walls. So other than that element that feels a little out of place for commoner's home, something that is that sturdy, you rummage around, find a few left behind trinket from long ago. Most of them are so rusted you can't figure out what they are. Some of them you feel might have been elements of decoration that have gone through so many years of decay. You just can't make out what the image was. There is, however, in one room, small room, get the feeling of a child's room. There's a chest. So it's probably a good place where a child could put his toys. But as you get close to it, your stomach just falls in because you realize something is moving inside.
Okay.
But
baby.
the front, the lock on the chest is closed. It's locked. Whatever's in there has been in there for decades, if not centuries.
This feels like something maybe we shouldn't open, but I kind of want to open it. I'm looking at Remy.
Open it.
You know what's in there.
Zombie baby.
Remy is going to sigh deeply, readying a dagger.
Not Andre. Audience is also going to ready an attack action with his mace.
Who's gonna open it though?
Probably Remy.
Well, the third hand is going to open it because I don't think Remy wants to be directly next to whatever is being kept inside this box. At least not from the outset.
All right. Takes a moment, but the hand eventually finds how to unlatch the lock, and you hear because it is not just a lock but a latch that falls on top of it. The hand and just lift the latch a little bit, and then the cover just opens up in a violent movement, and your stomach sinks in even further as you see this zombified child just stretch out and
We're keeping it.
apparently can't get out of this place, or won't come out. But
Yeah,
the story
that needs
itself just fills your mind of this child being afraid, and instead of running away with everyone, hiding inside a chest that locked itself, most likely hundreds of years ago. You
I don't
can't
know if that's
recognize
better or
if
worse
it's
than what I thought it was.
you can't recognize if it's a boy or a girl. By this time,
Okay.
there's no recognizable feature.
I feel like it's good we opened it. We should put it to rest.
He says,
Yeah.
taking his mace up slowly.
Do I need to roll insight where, like, is this actually a sincere mercy kill, or is this more like audience just like finally?
No, this is a sincere. This is audience. Audience was pretty sure what it was when it was moaning at the chest. The only reason he had you open it was because he wanted to mercy kill it. He thinks it's sold. It's undead. It should be put to rest.
All right.
Be released to the light of the dragon.
There you go.
You gonna pray over it?
I know, but I will say maybe released to the light of the dragon before I hit it.
He takes his mace. Then divine smite it!
No, I'm not gonna.
No.
Not divine smite. That seems a little extreme. Where's my actions? It's mid-mace. Okay, I'll go to hit it. Technically, it's prone, so I get advantage. I don't think I'll need it, but whatever. I'll see if I get a nat 20 because it'd be funny. I don't. I get a 25.
All right. Well, it's easy enough because the child is reaching out to you, so it feels like you just let it touch your mace. It's going like
I give
this.
it a little bonk on the head, and then I do. Oh, like it's gonna do like max damage. I'd roll like what 2d8 radiant for the mace. Oh no, 2d6. Yeah, 2d6.
And I think
I
if it's
do.
below a certain number of a hit point, it just blasted out of existence.
Well, if it fails, it saves. So, well, I do 20 damage to it, and 9 of that is radiant. And if it has to make a DC 15 Wisdom save.
All right.
If it has 25 points or fewer, which I assume it's gonna have.
Yeah, it's a child. It has less than 1 hit dice.
Yeah.
So you just touch it, and it's sort of as if the light simply had reached out and grabbed it and took it away, because it's a bright flash and there's nothing left except scorch mark inside of that box.
May you rest at peace in the dragon's glory. Finish the prayer.
There is a small, worn-out teddy bear at the bottom of the chest now.
Okay.
Imagine if me and found that.
Yeah, I am glad we found it instead of you and Jorg.
Hey, Tobiyashi, put it in your body bag. We're going to do something with it when you come back home.
We have a cyborg zombie baby now, guys.
Alright. Is that it in the chest?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Take the teddy bear.
It had...
I'll be like, I guess I'll check it with Remy, because that might be upsetting for him. You good, Remy?
It's Raimi is actually staring at the teddy bear for a while.
It's worn out,
'Cause-
faded in color, slightly torn.
Because Raimi didn't have one when he was growing up, but
Remy, I don't know if that's the teddy bear you want. I can get you
no,
a nicer
you'll let him finish.
Okay.
It's like, but he understands the associations of a worn-out teddy bear from different experiences.
Oh.
He's sympathizing.
With his expressionless bird face.
Okay. I guess we should go back, check on Fisher. That probably was around 10 minutes.
He empathies with his lifeless, black, beady eyes. I'm sorry to all birds. I know. That was racist toward birds. I'm sorry.
Alright.
Well, it's
I
a
guess-
good thing that Raimi isn't a bird.
No, that's not. I didn't say that I was racist toward Remy. I said I was racist toward birds.
Alright. I guess we'll make our way back towards Fisher, because it's probably been around 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If we don't.
Did we find anything?
On the first floor, well, you quickly surmise that this was the home of someone, and this used to be a store, but everything's been disintegrated
Ransacked.
by now. No, everything, it does show some signs of having been abandoned very quickly. Probably a little bit of looting, as this is something that is still accessible. And there have been few expeditions, but it's mostly because everyone just left in a hurry. You don't find anything of value, which is why you think that it might have been looted, but it's mostly just the urge of evacuating something, as hordes of zombies are pushing through the door. Possibly even an ogre zombie striking the door over and over and over until it eventually broke apart. Which probably doesn't help you mentally. That image of people cowering inside of a town, waiting for a train to come back so they can also leave securely, while there is this pounding, this relentless pounding on the walls of the city. And eventually it just broke apart, and this flood of zombie just pouring inside, starting to tear apart people.
Damn.
Woof.
Well, did you say wolf?
Yes.
He spent too much time with his dog.
I'll turn over to Jog and be like, well, it really makes you think, doesn't it? How
Yeah.
fast life leave.
How sometimes
Also, I never
no
got to ask
control.
you. I'm getting my pendant. I'm getting my pendant ready as I'm talking to him about this. I never got to ask you. What were your goals in like everything? Like when you got here, like after getting to the garden, did you have any plans, or did you have like one set goal that you wanted to do with your life, other than getting called by the garden?
No, I was kind of stranded on the island before the garden, before I got called by the garden. So I didn't really consider a future for myself beyond just living life.
Yeah.
So once I learned about the hunter cult, I felt I had a calling.
Okay. That makes sense. It's
I'd
hard
already
to.
buried my dreams of becoming an interpretive dancer, so
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of hard to get through to the group, kind of like what you want to do or like get done at any point. Really, we're kind of like always going. Not that it's their fault, but
Mm-hmm.
there's always something going on.
You all hear
Yeah.
as they're climbing the stairs.
Oh, I activated my pendant. Well, not activated it, but I'd like to see if my pendant is missing from my bag or anything.
Is it attuned to you right now?
Is it? That's true, huh?
yeah.
Nope. Never mind.
Then
It's
no,
still
it's
there.
That's what to
still
say.
there.
Didn't you say you unattuned to it too?
Yeah, I did.
It's exactly where you left it. Which
I
is,
can
which
remember.
is sort of reassuring, but also not that much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what you hear when we're walking up.
Yeah, you hear them say that it's not easy to talk to the group, because you're always on the move.
Like, it's hard to be emotionally open with them, us being like the only humans around here,
Whoa!
I'm pretty sure one of them doesn't have a soul. No, just playing. I'm kidding. None of this is said. But I would say being more of the frailer, being more of a frailer kind of a race, I guess. Since they're a lot more fortified than us. But anyways, let's see what Civ had to say.
As audience and Remy look at you just after saying this.
Oh, hey guys, what'd you find?
We released a child, the light of the dragon.
You're still a kid?
I said we released a child to the light of the dragon. I didn't
And you
say we
didn't
killed.
invite me? No, just playing. I'm kidding. Well, at least he's not suffering.
Yeah.
So you all gather back near where Fisher is, and now that you enter this room, you see this wall covered in calculation. Suddenly, it's sort of, oh wow, he is a wizard. For some of you, it's nice, and for others, it's, oh no, not another one. Well, for everyone, it's nice. For audiences, oh no, it's not another one.
Math. See, I'm smart.
And as far as you can tell, the orb will lose all of its power in 11 days. So he gave you 11 days to do everything you need on this island. And beyond that point, he will go for the spire by himself.
Like a boss.
And so I that is accurate to 11 days from now, not 11 days from whenever this was.
It is
written.
it is a decay rate. So he's giving you the formula that tells you when the orb that is in front of you will lose power, and that will happen in 11 days.
Okay, yeah. All right, so we got 11 days before Civ tries to go take out the Spire on his own.
That should be enough time.
Yeah.
Just trying to get straight there. Wait, what else are we trying? Oh yeah, we got to talk to the makers.
Yeah, well, we're trying to find the workshop.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean,
yeah,
we're
as best as you can tell, unless there is something extremely unexpected on the way, is more than doable. You can probably find yourself in the process of this island, in the city of this island, within a day, and the day after that, where you have to abandon the train in order to get to the workshop. So you'd probably have something like 6 days to find it, if nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
And we already gave up on looking for those survivorship things. We already did.
That was on the other island.
That was the other island. Right?
Yeah, it was on the other island.
So,
and it was kind of clear, we got information that a lot of them have been captured, and those that haven't been captured, it's not really going to be beneficial for us to find them right now.
Now, the variables we got to worry about are the Griever.
Not the Griever. The Griever's on the other island. It takes him more than 11 days to get here.
Yeah, okay. Shadow guy with the cloak and the void symbol, and zombies.
Yes, zombies are the big one. Zombies are the immediate threat.
Hordes and hordes of them. Because right now you are inside of this town, which you've already been able to count over 50 zombies in the 2 hours you've been here.
Yeah.
The process, the city, is going to be much worse.
Well, I guess now that we have the information, we should figure out how we're clearing the snow. Right, Fisher? Without being noticed.
I thought we had to get to the train if the tracks were set.
Well, yeah, that's what we're.
Yeah, that's
like,
what
get
he's
to the-
talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't necessarily need to clear the snow because the plow will do that. We just need to figure out or confirm that the track is set properly.
Yeah, the track is
Oh,
set.
okay.
And like we could do that by clearing the snow on top of it to look at it, but I see. Let's try to remember.
Also, should we summon Oranak now that we're not among civilization, so he can help us out?
We'd have to find
Dirt.
Yes.
Maybe just gestures at the wooden door.
Yeah.
All right, I start taking out a hatchet. I'm gonna start beating the floor until we get to.
Yeah. Yes, but I think probably it'll need to be. We'll need to find some ground that we could bury him in.
Use the bomb on the ground.
Yeah.
Yes, the bomb.
Yeah.
Rainy
we
would
just
like
need-
to use his sorcerer's bow to shoot the voice of the sky that said that.
But do I remember or know where controls would be to switch the tracks?
Well, in the maintenance yard, it's going to be there. You remember what it looks like. You just don't. You can't be sure of where it is exactly. Especially.
I know what I.
Yeah.
I'll know it when I see it, kind of thing.
You probably, yeah.
Yeah. So we could go dig and clear the snow off the tracks, but that's kind of out in the open and could take a while. Or we could just go to the maintenance yard and I could find the controls and see if they're in the right position or not.
You're muted.
Bonus for that plan is if they're not, I can change them and then we're good.
You're muted.
All right, we probably should go. Yeah, I was gonna say. We should probably go to the maintenance yard then. Probably that's easier since we did put on the plow, so the plow should at least take care of the snow.
Yeah.
we don't need to clear it.
Hey, Jorg, I feel like they went over the same thing like 3 times right now. No, I'm kidding.
Groundhog
let's
Day. Groundhog Hour.
We're just making sure everybody is on the same page.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Wait, so we're all gonna go, right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I said it 3 times. I figured you.
We're all gonna go. Right? No, you never said if we're all going. You just said you guys are going to.
Yes, we are all going.
Okay. All right.
That's why we talk about it a lot, so that if any questions come up, we can resolve them.
All right.
Okay.
You know what? There's a certain amount of like pride in Terranad right now. Just like
I have been validated.
He's learning how to shit on people.
Fisher's like, no, I'm becoming like my father.
All of my teaching are bearing fruit. All right. So, you gather yourselves. Fisher, you look once again at the math wall that you just filled, so with a little bit of pride in your eyes. And, yeah, I'm good now. I've got a skill that no one else has.
I've proved to myself that I'm smart.
Don't forget the orb.
All right. Do you take the orb or do you leave it there?
That's what I was saying. I was saying, don't forget the orb.
That's why I asked, because Toby actually said, "Don't forget the orb." So I want to know: do you take the orb or do you leave it there?
I'll take it.
Okay.
I ain't holding the orb. I don't know.
I just said that we should take the orb. I don't want to touch it.
I don't want to touch it. Just don't forget it. I feel like we need it.
All right. So you take the orb. Immediately when you take the orb, you sort of feel that very faint pushing sensation from the orb. Not like it doesn't want you to touch it, but as if it was emanating something that slightly repels. As you're moving down through that building, you probably start noticing that, oh, it's snowing outside. Look up, and there's a hole above you, but snow is not reaching you.
Interesting.
Looking around, you can sort of surmise that, okay, the orb has a 10 feet radius, roughly.
Is that about the size of the room? Or the top floor of the building?
Yeah, you couldn't see the back of the building, so maybe the back had snow, but the front didn't. It makes even more sense now when you look at it. That really was a message from Civ, intentionally made to draw your attention. Because the orb had to be placed in a way that would clear out the snow in front of the building, making it easy for all of you to see.
Yeah, that guy's so smart.
Get the switch.
Alright, yeah, I will put it in my bag.
So you now have an orb that can repel snow on a 10 feet radius for the next 11 days.
You say a hand was holding it?
It's more a
She's
decoration.
dead.
It's
Snowplow.
a stand in the shape of a metal hand.
I took the hand.
No, it's fixed to the orb.
Yeah.
So you take this with you, and it sort of have a moment of, well, at least no one's looking for us, because as you're moving, as you're walking down the stair, you also see the snow just being pushed aside in front of you. Oh yeah,
And we don't need a snowplow.
that would be easy to track.
And that's when they now realize, well, shit, now the snowplow's a bit redundant, isn't it?
Well, it's not pushing hard, so probably the train.
Okay.
Probably the train would be moving too fast, and the snow would still reach. It's a gentle push.
Okay, there's just part of me that just like, you know, like just put this orb at the front of the train, just like all the snow just went.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, it does make it so we don't really need to stop by the. I mean, we might still need to if it's not set, but like, I think I could just take this over to the track, so it should push stuff away enough that I could see if the track's set properly.
Big brain move. We don't need the snowplow. We just need the hut that Remy can make, and we put it on the front of the train.
And then the train doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
yeah.
because the
Relative
hut is
to
Now,
what?
well, what if it's on the train?
Yeah,
Then
it's not moving relative to the train.
Yeah.
The thing is that
I need to do a lot more math.
the reason why it won't work is that the sphere needs to be the half sphere needs to be complete. If there's an obstacle inside of it when you cast it, it's just gonna fail. So you'd have to have a 10 feet radius platform, completely smooth, placed in front of the train, so you can place the orb on it and it does what you want it to.
All right, we just figured out how to make a force field, guys. We just a whole bunch of people who could cast that. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's go. Toby's talking to the people in his head again.
No, he's talking to his ball. All right. Yeah, that's a good point. People. All right, so you go back to the first floor. You take the lever out. And you go outside once again to brave the gently falling snow. The moment you step out, you hear in the distance, "Ah!" Apparently that ghoul is still looking for the cause of the sound an hour earlier.
He's just very frustrated. It's like, you know, like you've been looking for your keys for a very long time, and like, even though it's not actually solving the problem, you're just screaming about it so that everybody knows. It's like, where are my fucking keys?
So we just got nothing better to do.
I can't find my vape. Where is it at? Are you sitting on it? You're sitting on it. Stand up right now.
For some reason, I'm brought back to when I was doing my pilgrimage. There were some people who were just doing this as a tourist thing. So they would go from hostel to hostel using a cab for their luggage. And there was this one town that was in the middle of a little valley. And there was a pole in the middle of town saying that this is where you need to be for your phone to work. So I thought it was funny as heck. I was just there watching all of those people sitting around this one pole screaming at their phone. What? What? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? What?
That was pretty funny.
And everyone there
Yeah.
being in the same spot trying to use your phone is going to make it slower
Because
too.
all of those people, they had too many luggage. They couldn't carry them by themselves. Everything was in my backpack, so I could leave in the morning like everyone else. But they had too many luggage. They needed that cab to get their 5 or 6 bags or whatever they had to the next hostel. So they were just yelling.
Wait, hold on, 5 or 6? Okay.
Oh yes. Some of them were on vacation with this. They literally had one case that was only for their clothes. Some of them had evening dress in there. It's a pilgrimage. I had 2 shirts. They had their whole wardrobe in there. Damn. Okay.
I mean, I'm more just speaking on like the fact that like when I went down to live to Peru, does like you know, I had 2 suitcases, and the other suitcase was mostly filled with school supplies that I didn't want to buy.
Well, you gotta have your evening dress, your sleeping wear, your jogging wear, and the walking around town clothes. And anyways, all right. So you leave this little building as you take advantage of that ghoul tearing down buildings, trying to find something that it heard. Right now, it's on the other side, but you can't help but to notice all of the additional tracks that this creature provoked, with all of the other zombies that it's drawing to its side. And you can't help but think, if that thing comes back our way, it's going to be one heck of a fight. So many of them will be around it, following it. For you, Jorg and Tobiyashi, you probably have a moment where you think again about everything that you were thinking about the hordes. And you have that moment of, oh God, this is probably how it was when their wall fell. When the gate crashed down, everything that came in probably just wasn't a huge ogre that came in. There were probably those screaming zombies sprinting toward the people inside, followed by this wave of undead. And you all turn around and you start walking toward the maintenance yard.
Diggy shit.
And I think
Audience is just like, let me at him.
Yeah. What do you mean they all tried to run away? Come on, I'm gonna put my town square. Come on, everyone, guys, we can do it. Remy, put up the dome. I'm just gonna pass my mace outside and keep running around. Alright. Well, I think we could end today's episode with a stealth roll from everyone. Unless you just want to sprint to where you want to go, taking for granted that screaming zombie has emptied the entire town. Your choice.
Yeah,
You probably still want to stealth?
Yeah.
In case there are any stragglers. I don't think we want to risk that.
Yeah.
Am I pass withoutting a trace? Yes.
Are you?
I mean, unless you're okay with me having a 4.
I mean,
We probably should.
He turns around and he stubs his toe on the rock that's been really exposed by every zombie that walked by. Yeah, cast your spell.
yeah, it's probably fine to cast pass without a trace.
Yeah, I still only have a
better safe than
14.
All right.
18.
14, 18.
26.
26.
Uh, 18 because I rolled a 2.
18. Right? Did you roll a natural 1?
No, but it vaguely looks like a 1.
Is it a
It's
10?
like so
That's
it's actually a
7.
28.
Oh.
All right, so in general, mostly 18, with the exception of Jorg, who has 14. All right, I'm gonna note this down, and
We're making our way to the place.
okay. And now I know how it all going to unfold. All right. Well, with this said, I think this is an interesting place where we can end today's stream. And apparently, as you are all leaving, Jorg suddenly becomes zombie-like, and he's gonna follow you mindlessly because apparently he can't be there next episode. Although he only has 3 episodes left.
Yep.
He's giving us used to us not having him. He's
Yeah.
doing
Yeah, I'm weaning you guys
Using
into
us
it.
into it.
That's why I'm trying to talk to him about what he's gonna do afterwards. Maybe
Uh-huh.
he'll make a reason for why he's leaving. In game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's
Oh, don't worry. I have something.
just gonna go
Uh-oh.
smoke a lot of shrooms.
Uh-huh. Smoking shrooms. That's what he's gonna do.
Take it easy.
He actually
Shroom.
Get
wraps himself
really
in
high.
his blanket so tightly that he actually just disappears into the Fey realm.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, pardon, not the Fey realm. The nature shard. There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, no, don't worry. I think I have something. So long as you keep him alive long enough, I have something. I think.
Or don't.
Well, I don't mind if you
That would be an ending.
if you just want to be eaten
No,
by
we'll
zombies.
keep-
You know, it's okay.
I would
It's gonna
rather
be very
not.
cinematic.
I can't get off the island without an orb, Jorg. I'm gonna have to take yours. I just push him away and take his orb.
I'm just gonna start yelling at Jorg, hold the door.
Hold the door.
Hodor.
All right, so yeah, don't worry. I have an idea, and it might even give you the possibility to come back at some point. Although, like I said, we'll have to see because reintegrating someone is not as easy as removing him.
Mhm. And I might want a more interesting character.
Oh, you want to have different characters.
Oh.
Oh.
Self-shade.
It's not Jorg, it's me.
So you might want to be a different class.
Mm-hmm. Or at least different race and backstory.
Although,
Different race
although
backstory.
incidentally, Tobiyashi, just like specifically in response to like a Draken's comment on like taking out and reintegrating a character, just like what's my usual method for my game?
Oh, they usually go on some mission and then it takes a long time, but we don't usually see them ever again. I was trying to
And
make
when
it
they show up,
emotional.
they just glitch into
content
existence.
stream. Yeah, I was trying to make it content for the stream, more emotional. Acting maybe. I don't know.
No. It's okay. It's okay. It
Mhm.
fits with the today's series.
I'm literally the only one that like gets grouped off with them and we talk all the time. So
No. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Toby is gonna be losing his partner. This is tough for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
whenever
Get
I
up
bring
the
up the
blanket.
bomb, no one's ever gonna help me like discuss about it. Like, come on.
No, you're not gonna have any backers for the bomb. I'll be in chat though.
Um,
It's...
I'll give Jorg a sending stone. So whenever I'm like, all right, we're talking about the bomb again. You need to speak
Yeah.
to them.
Yeah, bomb or no donation. That's what I'll do.
No.
He'll give you a coin that's when to use the bomb. Flip this coin, and it's
Boy.
the same on both sides.
And it just so happens this coin has also been minorly enchanted so that it deals 1 cold damage, like when it's struck against an object.
So yeah, no, the coin is basically.
Actually, wait, shit! Nobody take that! Nobody take that idea! Forget I said anything.
Bird goes out with the bomb.
Heads I win, tail you lose. All right. So, with this special ending, thank you for being here tonight. We hope you had a pleasant evening. We hope you'll be there next week for. Damn! Everyone just cut for a moment.
What was
Yeah.
that?
It was like, we're
Yeah, that
done.
was weird.
Yeah.
Your internet was like, okay, we're over. I heard it. We're out.
Damn! All right. That's. I think it's Skype telling us, "Come on, end it."
All right, out.
So, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching us. We hope you had a very pleasant evening. Well, whatever part of the day it is where you are, if you have days. We hope we'll see you next weekend. Next Wednesday or next Friday if we're watching the rebroadcast. As always, rebroadcast. 3 raiders or more, and we raid someone. We'll see who's there. If we don't get 3, we raid Tobiyashi. But if he's playing Dungeons and Dragons, we raid him even if he's not. Even if we have more than 3. Alright, so thank you for being here, and as always, think about us. If you enjoyed the show, you can support the stream by following us on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. You can also leave a comment on YouTube. Leave a like. Same thing on Twitter. You can also support the stream by making a donation, becoming a Patreon, subscribing on Twitch. Or if you can't do any of those, well, there is a very free thing you can do. Effortless, almost. You can help us by spreading the word of this channel. Bringing your friends, family members. If you think we're boring, bring your worst enemy. But, hey. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Peace.
Bye.